I was reminded about the fact that women are so underrepresented when it comes to being at senior levels. Well, a good friend of mine got promoted recently. It was almost like we had won the lottery. We were so ecstatic, we were happy, we were jumping for joy because she started quite humbly, finished a master's degree, couldn't get a job immediately, and then started working as a cleaner until she was able to get her break to get into the corporate world. But it took a number of years handling issues and challenges. Once she was able to break in and get going when it came to her career, it was upward from there. Promotion after promotion after promotion. And now she's gotten to a really senior level at her business. It's nothing short of miraculous, to be honest, because first of all, she's a woman of color. She's an immigrant. I'm very fascinated by successful women. Women who are able to make it to the C-suite. You know the C-suite, the CEO, the COO, the CFO. What made the difference? Was it their intelligence? Was it ambition? And I was wondering to myself, how come so few of us can actually replicate that level of success? Hey my lovelies, welcome back to the Style of Success. It's Kelly here again. If you're not part of this amazing family, we're waiting for you. Click that subscribe button. So we hear it all the time. You have to stand out, so especially in a competitive market. But what does that actually mean to the everyday person? You see, one of the reasons that I started this channel was because I want to see women at the top. Not because it's kind of like a token offering. Not too many women are there, so push more women. No, I want women to merit being at the top. They'll be able to stand on their laurels. And it's so disheartening when you look at the statistics because it shows that women are underrepresented at every single level. A survey carried out in the UK in 2017 actually found that only 5% of UK women run their businesses compared to 11% in the US, 15% in Canada, and over 9% of women in Australia and the Netherlands. So I found this article from Business Insider and I'm going to link it in the description. In 2019, it says that women are less likely to get a CEO position. Women of color made up 4% of the C-level execs, 5% of senior vice presidents, and 7% of vice presidents. And when that survey was carried out, it actually showed that 75% of Black women, 65% of Hispanic women, and 46% of white women actually viewed themselves as very ambitious. So, how come we're getting these stats? Now, there are many things that can get in the way of us actually progressing, whether it's in business or in our career. Raising a family, having kids, annoying bosses, unscrupulous business practices. Now, Rachel Thomas, the co-founder and CEO of Lean In, says that the bias actually starts from the hiring process. So it's more or less like a performance bias where there is this belief that men are more capable or more competent than women are. I think a lot of times we as women don't want to take the bull by the horns. We're being careful. We don't want to be seen as pushy or aggressive, and we tend to shy back. So Rachel goes further to say that men are typically hired based on potential and the belief of what they can actually do, as opposed to the rest of us who need to kind of like prove ourselves or show some work experience that we can actually do the job. And dare I say that for people of color, that gets worse, or we need to show more accomplishment in order to stand out the way we need to. So I went on this mission asking my friend and researching to find out what it actually takes to stand out. And here are a few points that I came up with. One of the most common things that I found out, being able to solve problems was something that actually makes people stand out. This friend of mine who gained this huge promotion is known in her company as a troubleshooter. She is deployed to other clients. If they need some buy-in from stakeholders, she is the first point of call to mitigate the situation. So imagine that you're working in your company now and a problem comes up. How do you react? Are you one of those people that says, nope, not my problem, can't be bothered, or this has nothing to do with me, this is not my field? That might not be the right way to go if you want to progress in your career or get to the C-suite. When people know you as a problem solver, they would come to you more often, and that is one great way to gain influence. And that leads me to my next point: building a rapport, building a network, building strategic relationships that can help you progress in your career. Sometime last year, I was part of a mastermind group. We were a mix of people in the corporate world and entrepreneurs, and we were just listening to how other people have been able to navigate the space. And there was something a lovely lady said that I picked up, and it's been ringing in my mind. And she says, it's not enough to be great at what you do. Do you let people know that this is what you've done? Do you take recognition when you need to take it? Because I know that that's something that a lot of us as women struggle with. We don't want to be recognized, or it's not like we don't want to be recognized. It's more or less like we don't want to shine the attention on us because we feel it's very attention seeking. It's very look at me type of thing. But it's important that your people above you know the value that you bring. I remember when it was in the corporate world, and every time when it was time for promotions, I would literally be racking my head to try to remember my contributions to the project, and it would almost be like this blank canvas. One strategy that I learned, it's great to actually write it down so that when the time comes, you have this list of things that you can show on how you have been adding value to the company. So I've actually found myself joining different associations and groups because you can never tell what can help you stand out and what can help move things to the next level. Communication is another thing because communication adds to our likability factor. If you're in business, if a customer doesn't feel heard or does not enjoy the experience, you're less likely to have repeat customers. And communication is all about the words that you speak, your vocal tone, your body language, because a lot of times that non-verbal behavior actually tells a lot about whether you're interested in what the person is saying. Sometimes we have kind of like standoffish body language that can actually impede from actually standing out, which leads us to the next point, and that is all about differentiating yourself. Some people will say it's all about like niching down. It's kind of like the blue ocean strategy, where you're trying to stand out from the competition, from that red ocean with all the sharks there. I like to talk about Bethany Frankel. She's almost like the Michael Jordan of Real Housewives. If you're a Real Housewives lover, by the way, do smash that like button. She is a savvy entrepreneur and businesswoman. She founded Skinny Girl Margarita in 2009. And from there, she built the whole Skinny Girl brand and Skinny Girl cocktails. And now she's expanded. She's in clothing, she's in candy, she's in deli meat, she's in popcorn. What was so fascinating about it was she was able to create a new demand in a male-dominated category. So it's so important that we need to remember our strengths and what area we can focus. There's no point trying to push into an area that we would struggle even more. Bethany was also able to leverage reality TV to spread the awareness about her brand, create a new market, and target a particular problem. When I started my business, I was torn because for a long time, I didn't want to be the face of the brand because I've always been a private person. But sometimes it is in stepping out of our comfort zone that can actually make the mark and make the difference. So are you one of those people who kind of like sits in a meeting, you don't want to make any contribution, you don't want anyone to notice you? You have to be part of the solution. And one other thing that I chose to add, being able to dress in a way that is unique, that makes us to stand out. It can make us look smart, it can make us look special, it can make us look pretty, whatever it is, clothes are a signal of who we are. There is this saying, your dressing is your address. We want to make sure that everything we're doing is sending the right signal to whoever it is that we want to attract. Have you ever wondered to yourself, what impression do I give people with the way I dress? You see, my friend was telling me how she went into a meeting and the first thing they were talking about was her earrings. And she was laughing and for like the next 5 minutes. And they're like, wow, you have fascinating earrings. Oh, this is so different. This is in a very stiff and corporate environment. So there's something to say about dressing in a way that makes you look different and makes you stand out, something that you are comfortable in. For me, I love that business casual look. A blazer with a pair of jeans or a t-shirt and a nice skirt, and it's more or less like effortless style. And it might not necessarily be wearing over-the-top clothing, but it could mean your accessories, your jewelry. Life takes on a whole different meaning when we're doing something that we actually love. So at the end of the day, it has nothing to do with ambition. And so if we are to stand out, I think it has a lot to do with these soft skills, being resilient and really putting ourselves out there. Let me know what you think, or if there's something you've done different that has helped you to stand out in your business or in your career. And YouTube is going to show you another video that I think you are going to find enjoyable, and I will see you in the next video. Take care.